She didn't care that I'd just moved in, that I'd spent 20 years saving up for this house, that it took 3 weeks just to feel like we belonged. She looked at me, no, through me, and said I was breaking HOA rules. Only problem was, her HOA didn't even include my address. But people like Karen Whitfield don't let things like facts get in the way. She had no idea who she was dealing with. Let me back up a second. That Saturday, my coffee tasted better than it had in years. Maybe it was the quiet, no traffic, no tech bros on Bluetooth, just the gentle, damp air and a robin on the mailbox. I spotted the old granite survey marker at the end of my driveway, 1952, 47 feet east, the kind of detail you almost miss unless you're looking for history in the weeds. I made a mental note to look it up. My wife Jennifer, already half-dressed for her shift at the hospital, called out for her stethoscope. Emily, our 12-year-old, was practicing violin, her notes floating through the house. Life felt right. For a minute. Then I saw Karen, hair yanked back so tight her skin barely moved when she frowned, stomping down the sidewalk and scrutinizing every home. She stopped at my property line, scanned her clipboard, and, without so much as a hello, marched up into my yard. "You can't live here," she said, still scribbling. I introduced myself, explained we'd just moved in. And, finally, she looked at me. That look people give when they've never been told no. This property's under Maplewood HOA jurisdiction. Standards must be maintained. Now, 20 years in Silicon Valley taught me to always have receipts, so my phone was recording before I even stood up. "I'm sorry, I didn't catch your name," I told her, making sure she heard the subtext. "This isn't your turf." She straightened. "Whitfield. President Whitfield." She actually spat out "president" like it meant something in the real world. "Whatever you're doing here needs to stop until you've submitted proper applications and fees." Applications for what? All new residents must be vetted by the board. She actually said it like it was the natural order of things. That's when I pointed to the granite marker. "According to the county, my property ends 47 feet before your HOA even begins. That marker, 1952, original boundary. Your authority stops right there." She went red, neck to ears. "I've run this HOA for 15 years. I know every inch." But she stepped back, just a little. Neighbors' porch lights flicked on down the street. I wondered how many stories they had about her. "You're on my property now," I said. "And I'm recording, for both our protection." Her mouth tightened. "People like you," she started, letting it hang. Jennifer stepped out, white coat, hospital badge. "Is there a problem?" Karen's face curled up. "Another doctor, just what we need." Emily peeked out, violin case in hand. Karen's eyes snapped to her. "Music before 7 a.m.? That's a noise violation." I kept it steady. She was now threatening my kid's passion. "That's not how laws work, Mrs. Whitfield." She wrote something on her clipboard, tearing the paper with her pen. "We'll see about that." As she walked away, she turned. "The Johnsons thought they could fight me, too. Ask around what happened to them. People like you never last here." Each word hit colder than the dew. Inside, I tried to shake it off, but her phrase kept echoing. "People like you." Jennifer left for her shift. Emily played her Mozart, but the piece was gone. Then, a red van pulled up. Not the mailman, a process server. "You've been served. HOA official notice, 11 violations. Mailbox color, garden gnomes, ethnic cooking odors, hamburgers, apparently, now count as ethnic. $350 a day per violation. That's almost $4,000 a day, for rules that didn't even apply to us." Jennifer called from work. "Michael, how is that ethnic?" "We made hamburgers." "It's not about rules. It's about intimidation," I said. So I started building my evidence folder, digging through county records. That's when I noticed the HOA filed a new map in 2019, sneakily extending their boundary 50 feet, right over our property. No vote, no seal, just a line on a map and a power grab. Then Bob Peterson, our neighbor, knocked on the door. Tall, older, cardigan despite the heat. "She's done this before," he said. 6 families in 10 years. Always minorities. All forced out within 6 months. He handed me a USB drive, evidence collected over the years, hoping someone like us would finally fight back. Vandalized cars, dead pets, anonymous calls to employers, death by 1,000 cuts. "You're the 7th family, but maybe you're the last." Bob's faith in us became my Responsibility. The deeper I dug, the uglier it got. Karen's emails about demographic concerns. Photos of vandalism. Reports closed without action. Jennifer came home, scrolled through the evidence, jaw set. Well, she picked the wrong family. That night, over takeout, Emily asked, "Are we going to have to move too?" "No, honey. We're going to fight, and this time, we're not alone." With Bob's evidence, I found the Johnsons in Seattle, Lee's in Portland, Garcia's back in Texas. All thriving, but each carrying scars. Karen was proud of running them out, posting about good fences on the HOA board. That's when Bob showed up with security footage from HOA meetings, 3 years worth. "She made a mistake targeting you," he said. "We've been waiting for this." I found Marcus Johnson, an attorney who'd grown up fighting battles like ours. "This is RICO territory," he said. "Racketeering, conspiracy, intimidation, fraud." The retainer was steep. But Marcus had a plan. Turn it into a class action, bring in the other families, make it national. "But she'll escalate," he warned. "Get security cameras. This gets worse before it gets better." We fortified the house. Cameras, sensors, cloud backups. Emily helped, spotting blind spots. The next night, the cameras caught someone photographing our yard, then running. The next day, garbage cans blocked our driveway. An anonymous complaint went to Emily's school. Karen was coming for every part of our lives. That night, over dinner with Bob and his wife, we met other neighbors who'd been targeted, and Sarah Kim from City Council. Individually, none of us had enough. Together, though, I posted my boundary app to the neighborhood forum. Suddenly, half the street realized they'd been paying fake fines for years. By afternoon, a crowd gathered at the community center. Karen burst in, screaming that my tech was a lie. 15 years I've protected this neighborhood, she shouted. From people like, but she caught herself too late. Sarah Kim demanded. "People like who, Karen?" The room was silent. "You're all ungrateful," she hissed. The cameras were rolling. That night, Karen stood at our property line, just staring. The next morning, our driveway was spray-painted with "Get off this block and don't come back." I called the police. Officer Morgan arrived, "7th complaint about Karen this month," he said. "But this we can work with." Neighbors helped clean, the news arrived, and the story hit TV that night. Cease and desist sent. Karen called me in a fury, hinting at threats against Emily's gifted program, not realizing I was recording. Then Max, our golden retriever, got sick, rat poison. The vet's office revealed someone had called, asking about poison treatment for Max, 2 days before it happened. Name? K. White. I added it to the folder. Criminal conspiracy. Marcus was relentless. We compiled evidence, 15 pages, 6 years of pattern, and finally filed for a restraining order. That night, 50 violation flags appeared on our lawn. Emily ran among them, reading out the absurdities. We pulled them up one by one, neighbors watching, solidarity growing. News spread, public pressure built, and for the first time, Karen's control slipped. The day of the hearing, Karen cracked. She screamed at officers, assaulted one, and was cuffed in front of half the block. It went viral, 3 million views by morning. 9 families joined our suit, and Marcus turned it federal. Discovery revealed embezzled funds, racist research, and a fraud so deep the city threatened to dissolve the HOA. Karen's own allies turned on her. In court, the jury saw it all. Dead pets, fake complaints, vandalism. The recordings. Karen lost it on the stand, screaming about those people. The verdict? Guilty on every count. $2.3 million for the families, another million in punitive. Karen screamed, "This is still my America," as they dragged her away. Months later, Karen's house sold to a black family. The HOA dissolved. Bob Peterson became the new association president. Jennifer ran again. Emily started a youth orchestra, and the neighborhood, for the first time, felt like it belonged to everyone. Karen sent an apology and a cashier's check from jail, not enough to heal, but a step. And in the center of it all, the old granite marker, 47 feet from Karen's line, now a symbol, not a border. Emily's orchestra played at the dedication for the new community garden, where all the families gathered. That marker, once just a stone, now read, boundary of mutual respect. So if you're still here, maybe you've lived some version of this story. Maybe you've watched a bully try to redraw your lines. If you have, I want to hear it. Share your story below. What would you do if someone tried to take your home, your peace, your right to belong? Because sometimes, the line that matters isn't 47 feet. It's the one you draw in your heart and refuse to let anyone cross.